Hello and welcome to the Benjamin Zulu Show. And I hope you've had a fantastic week. We're still celebrating women, so happy International Women's Week, Women's Day. We didn't get to celebrate with you on Monday, so we cannot just, go through without doing that. So celebrating all the women out there who are doing the most, celebrating the milestones that we've gotten and realizing how much farther we need to go. And if we are here this evening, it's a Friday, and we have quite the conversation that we need to have with you. But before we even get into that, let's welcome the gentleman of the hour, Benjamin Zulu. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, and happy International Women's Day.
Thank you.
Belated though.
You. Yes.
And I know you have burning issues depending on
I do. Before we even get there,
yes,
let me just find out who you're celebrating, who you celebrated this week. Women who have, guided you, helped you, women you look up to that you would like to celebrate.
Wow. As I've always told men, we are a product of women. I celebrate my wife.
Yes.
I celebrate my mother. I celebrate my mother, mentor, second mother. There's another mother there who really brought me up a lot in education. I celebrate you.
Thank you.
All the ladies in my team, all the fans who follow. So I have sisters, I have supporters. So I can say I have been really, like Paul was writing and telling how many mothers, telling Timothy good. He had so many women who touched his life.
Yeah.
There were also women who underwrote, who paid for our Lord's ministry. And they followed him. It's women who discovered he had resurrected. It's women who tried to go and anoint his body. Men don't deal with dead bodies. Women who maintain hope.
That is so true.
So for me, that day, although it's meant for women, it's us to appreciate them.
Absolutely.
I told you that funny statistic that Mother's Day came and a card manufacturing company did a charitable work by sending free Mother's Day cards to prison for the people to send to their mothers. They were all used up. They were asked to bring more, bring more. And then Father's Day was a week later. They anticipated there would be a similar demand. They brought the first batch and it stayed there. Hardly anybody paid attention. They discovered an accidental discovery. Then a farm heard of the incident and they went to a research farm, went to carry out a research, find out what it is. They found that 85% of all inmates had never had any friendship with their father. That was in inmates. People have had issues in life.
Yes.
Of course, that's not a representative of the whole society.
That is true.
But it said something about how people end up in prison. And these were men. Majority of these inmates were men. So it is to say they were touched by their mothers. And then they started interviewing, being asked, what is it about your father? How come? Some would say, I've never seen him. He used to pop there and disappear. No, I don't even know who that is.
Yeah.
Men neglected. So to warn us that as they celebrate mothers, we are becoming the fathers. As they celebrate the women, we are becoming the fathers. We are the men. So I sometimes look at the mirror and say, these women we are celebrating, can they celebrate their fathers? Can they celebrate their husbands? Who's shaping them? And as I told you, we started competing when we were supposed to be complimenting. So for me to say Happy International Women's Day for the women, and I have no competition with you, I just appreciate you.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, and for even giving us that research to just see. That puts us on the spot just a bit, to be able, if you're in a position to celebrate our dads as well.
You're right.
Now, International Women's Day came with a certain kind of backdrop.
You're right.
On Monday, we had a video go viral of a lady who was assaulted by many Boda riders. And I watched the video and I felt my heart break into tiny little pieces. I wanted to go on social media and vent about it, but the words in my mouth were profanities. There was no other way to express myself, so I didn't.
My wife could not watch that clip.
It was bad. The
She
screams.
nearly fainted. I tried to remember my exercise about resuscitation.
So we're having a serious
Remember those exercises?
Yes.
If you start fainting, you have to look for how to open windows, how to press here.
Yes.
But it was so traumatizing and shocking. Now, let me remove something here.
Okay.
Let's not call these men border riders.
Okay.
I don't care the job they do.
Okay. They were men.
Thank you.
They were
In
men.
this conversation, we are picking the men.
Good. I like that.
It can be any career.
It can be.
It can change.
And just because that was documented, there were others. When you go to the stage, there are touts who will talk to you badly. There are people who will harass you. It's just men who did this.
And there are men who say you must beat your wife for her to submit. Let me paint the picture for you.
Oh.
Let me show you what was happening in terms of who men are.
Okay.
This was an innocent, harmless woman seated in her car because something had happened with another motorbike.
Yeah.
And she stopped to wait for traffic. I'm told she's even a foreigner. She's here for work. This is a guest who is supposed to be more tender towards. But let's forget that. There was no way of knowing she's a foreigner. Let's deal. This is a woman, and something has happened. And it has been the culture of these motorcycle operators. When something happens, they swarm.
Yeah.
They come to mob justice the person without caring whether they're the ones on the wrong. And remember, they don't follow rules. No. They drive on the opposite side. Yes. They don't wear protective. They get in between. They throw curses. They do weird things. One time, one of them hit a vehicle, and they swarmed there, 500 of them, within a minute, ready to lynch the owner of that vehicle. And it is he who was hit the vehicle. But then he stepped out, lowered his mask, only to realize he's the former chief of defense forces.
That's the only way they did it.
They vanished. Now, what if it was another person like me, like you?
There was someone. There was a poor girl in her car. I just felt like the seatbelt is what saved her. But then that puts us in a situation where, at what point did we get here? Is it the things that we're told while we're growing up?
So let me finish the picture.
Okay, please. Yes.
The woman is seated there waiting to solve the matter amicably.
Yes.
She could have run away. Some people hit and run.
Yeah.
She could have run. She sat there waiting for police or traffic or something. But then they come and open and tear her clothes and harass her as she screams helplessly. And these men are still putting forth their hands.
Yeah.
I don't need to pronounce a curse, but their actions pronounced curses on them.
That's true.
To put forth the hands on a defenseless person, and you are many of you, and you are the men, and she's the woman. Let me announce to every man who can hear me this. Never put forth your hand to assault a woman. Never. If its relationship is not working, release her amicably. In fact, one of the things I want you to tell young girls and young daughters is that you are a human being. Yeah. Before you are mother or father or daughter or anything, you are a human being. Your dignity as a person deserves to be respected. Your dignity as a person. Many times we say, you know, she's somebody's wife. Let's forget past the role. First, the roles. You are a human being. Nobody should assault you, lay hands on you. You are not even the judge. Judge has not sent you to court, not sentenced you to be whipped. If it is done in the court of law, that's okay. That's system of justice. It's wrong for anybody calling themselves a lover or a man or anything to lay hands on you. You should know you're a human being before anybody treats you just like a woman. Before God, we are not male or female. Your maleness or femaleness on earth is physical and functional. It's for purposes of your role here on earth. But as a person, you are a spirit that has no gender. We are like angels. We have no gender. Before God, you're not any lesser for being woman. But in fact, when you read the Bible, God seems not very gender sensitive. He never says he or she. Have you noticed that?
Yes,
He never says he or she. People are trying to modify, say there.
them.
You know, in the beginning, he created mankind. Mankind is humanity. We are just humanity. He keeps saying he. English is a smaller language compared to the original language that wrote the Bible.
Yeah.
Hebrew and Greek were richer and they had more vocabulary. Like the word life has 3 different meanings in Greek.
Oh.
Bios, physical life. Zoe, spiritual life. And psychological life.
Okay.
But everywhere of all those, he who has the son has life. English is just using life. Greek differentiates. And when he says death, then the termination of this life. Yeah. Bios is the physical death. You know, Zoe, when you're not born again, you are dead in terms of spiritual life.
Okay.
When you are depressed, I came so that they may have life and have it in full. Jesus, does life have a measure? He's talking about the psych life, the joy. You can be alive or down. He was talking about that, the one that has measure. So when God says he, my son, don't feel left out. He's talking about mankind.
Yes.
God gave us to be woman and man here for what we are doing here, to rule the earth, to manage the earth in our roles as male, female. But over there, we can't marry because we are one gender. There is no gender. In fact, it's just like angels.
Yeah.
Never take a lower position to men in this life. And the Bible does not tell women to submit to men. There's no verse like that. It says wives to submit to husband.
Yes.
Inside that relationship.
Yeah.
Inside a marriage. And one to submit to another. In fact, the verses say, submit one to another. I must submit to my wife in areas where she's more competent.
Yeah.
So we're saying what happened yesterday was 1,000 years back.
Oh God.
Stone Age. It's
That's
Stone
very
Age. It does not deserve to happen. This week, those happenings, and I'm happy the government jumped to action.
Yes.
They are being forced now to register. In fact, the registration fees was waived for them to register all of them. So that if you don't have a registration after that, they're given smart license. You can be tracked who did this, who passed here, who, because even thieves are beginning to use motorbikes to snatch people's phones. So that if you are seen on motorbike, you're supposed to have a license. And when they see the motorbike, they know who it is registered to.
Yeah.
There's also the mop-up, the checking, those people are arrested here, there are 14 arrests. So to apologize to all women fraternity, and all women felt that could have been me.
I felt that.
It was so personal. Everybody felt that can be me.
It can be me, can be my daughter. So
and I want to hope this will never happen again in this country. We're in a civilized country.
Yes, we are.
What happened does not represent the kingdom of men, but it also represents failure as to what you teach boys. You don't put out your hand to assault a woman. And I want to congratulate whoever took the video. Let us preserve the culture of taking videos. That's how the George Floyd revolution came.
That's true.
Somebody just take a video. Tell the world what you saw. That's a witness. Video is a witness. Tell us where you saw it.
Video, we've been able to capture the culprit. Not capture really, but we've identified.
Yes. We could identify and see. There are people who specialize on identification. Some of us must see the face. But there's some people who can see just your body shape. And they will align you facing that direction and they'll pick you. They don't know the body shape. There was a relief to see action being taken. But it's to say, so let's go on. I want to tell you the philosophy that degenerates men to losing conscience enough to assault a woman. There's a philosophy, please. All actions, all behavior comes from some beliefs. I want you to assume that every day. Whenever you see behavior, there are always beliefs behind it. Belief determines behavior. You behave what you know to be right according to your belief system. What do you think you're entitled to?
Yeah.
What do you think you can get away with? Where you think you stand? And what happened yesterday was an illustration of a belief system men live in. You may think it's only on the road, but in the houses it's happening.
Yes.
Okay, there's something you're asking.
I'm sitting here thinking about these men. They've done this to a woman. But then a couple of months or maybe sometime last year, they clobbered a man who had also gotten into a motorcycle accident, and they beat him. Is it a sect? Yes, we've said we're calling them men. But when you think about it, is it the unlawlessness that they operate with that makes them, feel, I don't care. I mean, I have been able to pass through the lights to go opposite direction. I can walk away. I can steal from police officers. I can grab a phone from a police officer and run it. We laughed about it. But little did we know that it can get worse.
Now, that behavior of the motorcycle guys clobbering, they even touched a school bus at some point. And they can storm. When one of them is arrested, they try to storm. There, they try to appear. Another person was also being harassed. He was rescued by a GSU officer who was manning a nearby facility. And then firing into the air, those kind of things. As a group, the motorcycle operators had developed a culture that almost looked like a lawless group, hooligans. But as I've told you, I'm happy because I can see action.
Yes.
The president took action. We can see things being done.
Yeah.
And government has now been defeated. they have dealt with other armed groups.
That's true.
This is not an armed group.
Mm-mm.
So in terms of the lawlessness of that particular group, for me, that's not what I want to focus on, because I don't think they will continue that with the
They
current,
better not.
with the current even public uproar. I'm picking on this direction of men, many of them assaulting a defenseless, screaming woman. And none of them was trying to fight for her,
They said mtoe
except the video recorder. And I was asking people, all these people were born by a woman. If you can't feel for women for any other reason, if you remember your mother,
Please.
if you remember your mother, whenever I see women selling things in the market, walking on the road in the sun, I always remember who? My mother. And I know this is another mother. I always feel compassion. So let me tell you the 3 layers of training
Oh, okay.
that men have undergone to become beasts, like you saw yesterday. They were not born that way. They became beasts by 3 layers of conditioning.
Okay.
The first layer is when the society, women included, makes men and boys feel like they have a special right to monitor, supervise, discipline, punish women. There are cultures where even women themselves believe when they're not battered, they're not loved. It came from old school when men and many women and a woman to get attention and to cause chaos, to be attended to through slaps and kicks. Now that's attention. It's an old way which is no longer existed, but some people have carried it on. Those who do female circumcision are trying to deny the woman any rights to control her sexual life. They remove that ability to feel. It was invented by men, and women are asked to execute it to girls, to carry it forward on behalf of the men. There is a belief, and you find it in our local songs, and I want you to hate every musician you hear describing women in a vulgar way. There's a big difference between romance and vulgarity. Listen to our local music. They describe your body parts as if you're not a human being. Romance should have decency and admiration, not degrading description. The way the female dancers dance in music communicates how the makers of video of the music see them.
Yeah.
The pornography industry is driven by objectification, domination, control of women. Women are taken there and paid to be taken on video being harassed and demeaned. Digest that. You will find it in music videos. You will find it in performance, where we are still glorifying a man putting down the woman. That's the first training. It comes from society, comes from our music, our culture, where the man thinks he has supervisory power over women. And that he has a special right for being born a man. In the West, a president gets 2 daughters and is very happy.
Yeah.
Here, a man does not have a son and he feels like he does not have children.
Yeah.
I advise all of us, this generation, the enlightened one, pray for a healthy child. Don't specify gender.
I agree.
God, give me a healthy child.
Yes.
Give me the gender you have given me the grace to mentor.
Yes.
Giving birth is easy.
Yes.
It's shaping the child to their destiny. That is the work. Stop perpetuating gender superiority by specializing. I want a boy, I want a boy. Over history, girls are more loyal to their parents throughout life. They get married and they still send money home. Men get married, and if the wife doesn't like his people, he's detached away. Facts show, just study, who is more loyal. Girls take care of their parents for longer, even when they have their own homes.
Yeah.
I'm not saying all girls, I'm saying when you compare the genders.
That is true.
Most homes where it's more men, it's chaotic. Where it's more girls, it's peaceful. Please do your Look around where the parent got more daughters versus where they have more sons. It's more peaceful when they have more daughters. When it's men and they're settled around there, it's wrangles. It's chaos. In fact, if a man there has 5 sons and they are peaceful, he's a spectacle. He's a spectacle. We come to study as if we are going to study a show. Any man who has 5 sons and they're successful, even 3, and they're successful, and they're peaceful, they have good lives, we watch with amazement because it's a rare thing. Men become trouble child. In most families, there are women who are prayer partners and men who are prayer items. In most families. Please study. The first family in the Bible lost 2 sons and 0 daughters. Study. There are many spiritual explanations to it.
Yeah.
And I'll come to it later another time.
Yeah.
That the seed of the woman was supposed to bruise the head of the serpent. So the devil was told, it's a male child who will punish you. So he picked a gender with the male children from the word.
Okay.
So male children, I keep telling them, if a baby boy is born, don't just ululations.
Yeah.
Those ululations, if it's a boy child, that's a war cry. Men are born to war throughout. The drug industry, the beer industry is geared for men. Pornography for men. Military and terrorism for men. Gambling, football, addictions for men. Tell me one place where men gather. I can tell you where women gather. Then you take turns to tell me where men. Okay? Now let's do this game.
We're in charge. We're in chamas.
Very good. No, take men. I'm taking women.
Oh no. You can handle your gender. You've already listed all of them. And it's in a heartbeat, you just kept going.
Women gather in so many groupings. They have table banking. They have in churches, in meetings, in where it's women who gather in social groupings. When you call for a meeting for Parents' Day, women are always majority. Voting, women majority. Play, women majority. Where are men? Men gather in football dens, in drinking dens, in hospitals and in graveyards. Anyway, so let's go.
Wow. You know, it's, you know, the Bible says, hey, maniskia. It's treat your neighbor the way that you'd like to.
You're right.
Yes.
You're right. Exactly.
You're
right.
Sometimes when you're in such situations, if it was you in that situation, as a human, take your gender away. Would you want that to happen to you? Is it something that you would condone? Would you be happy about that? So when you think about it and you're not comfortable about it, it might have been such a bad situation, but it starts with little situations where you are at. You step on one person, you feel powerful. You step on another, and you continue doing this thing your whole life. But what if we changed from the little spaces that we're in and we continue calling them out and we keep our videos rolling? If we see something we can't fight hard enough, there are many people, there's just one person who was recording.
Let me tell you the other 2 layers of conditioning.
Yes.
Training. The second layer is frustration at the inability to get any woman to sleep with them. Men wanted to subdue women sexually, and there's a generation of women who is not submit to just anything. They're selective. There's a time, even today in some Maasai culture, a man goes to any home he wants and sleeps with the women there.
As they put them cooking.
He puts a spear there and he sleeps with whoever there.
Yeah.
The spear tells other men that there's a man here.
Yeah.
There are men who wanted that, low-key, in today's society. And because women have been empowered, they can choose who they want. They carry an anger towards female gender in general. And whenever they have a chance to get it out, let me ask you, you have already encountered them, only you did not know that was the cost. Let me tell you a few examples. You might relate. How many men have insulted you because you did not respond to their advances?
I don't think I have enough fingers.
Thank you. It was an attack, an anger. The fact that he can't just put a spear and sleep with you. There was, and I've told you to monitor our songs, and it will tell you what men are thinking.
That is true.
How they insult a girl who did not agree to his advances. And that's the music we play in the public space. I want to ask you not to play that kind of music in your house. Don't let that energy penetrate your space. Start to be selective.
Yeah.
I only appreciate creativity, not vulgarity and backwardness. The music they play, you can't watch it with your mother, with your father. It's not decent. There's no longer creativity. Back in the years, 20 years, 30 years back, it was creativity that society wanted. And if you sing vulgarity, nobody will call you for performances. Today, they want the vulgarity to be performed in public spaces. And many of those women dancers don't face you. They face the other way. It's their body how they're shaking. That's what is being paid. Yeah. You can't even tell who is singing. I appreciate that Tanzania. There's a crop of Tanzanian singers who are singing creativity nowadays. And you don't hear them degrading. They sing true love songs, admiring, uplifting. There's a crop of them singing goods. And you can see this good creativity. It's a song that you can use in events to admire each other in weddings. Right? But many of our local, the ones who sing in vernacular, because those are the ones who are harassing women in a primitive way, let me tell you. These are not learning. People can sell songs internationally. I'm mentioning Tanzania and I'm over here and they can listen to it because it's sellable internationally. It resonates with human values. There are some things we sing here in the West, you'll be arrested. Let me tell you, we are so backward that our own music is illegal elsewhere. It contains insults against women, violent language against women. And they try to put it like a meme, like a joke. Okay, so many men are simply frustrated that they couldn't get you to sleep with them, they couldn't get you down with them, and they feel so angry, they respond with insult. Next time a man comes from the blues, insulting and shouting at you and you have not asked anything, always remember, it's a frustration at the inability to subdue you.
Yeah.
Remember that. The third level is subtle, and you may not expect it because it's planted by parents and parenting. Treating boy child like he's special, even bigger than his bigger sisters. The boy is the youngest, but he's given a special seat as if he's bigger than even the older. So he's given a sort of seniority in his mind. Now, in the family level, he's treated like he's special. You girls must be home with chicken by 7 p.m. By sunset, girls and chicken, be in the house. But boys can stroll in at 10 p.m.
Yeah.
Not much questions.
That's what boys do.
Even mom does not. You know, the father was strolling the boy around at the same time, and their food has been left there. And so the boy is given a special treatment in the family. But when he comes to the world, he finds that girls are ahead in reality. Yesterday's attack was an envy that she had a car they did not have. I mean, the other days, this week's, let's call it this week's attack. Yeah. That incident was a proof of frustration at having been told you're special at home. Yes. But in the world, she's ahead. They asked me the other day to comment how come the boy child is lagging behind. There was a concern. Yeah. A study showed that nearly half now of all corporates are led by women. Women have quite caught up.
That is the truth.
You know, they said, hey guys, now we're at 50-50. Oh my God. You know, they said the only place that is imbalanced in churches. And you know why? Women are there, but they will not be given the Constitution says it must be a man. But they said corporate leadership. Now we are nearly 50-50. Men versus women. Top leadership, top management. I liked it when they were looking for Safaricom leader. There was a name of a woman in the consideration. And now the court at Hague, a woman leading. The number 2 in America, a woman. Our number 1 here neighborhood, a lady. I like it when ladies lead because when ladies lead, there will never be wars. If Russia's president was a lady, Ukraine will still be at peace. Let me tell you.
Such a sad state of affairs.
Let me tell you. And I love it when we all take our place without competition.
Yeah.
Let me tell you the truth. Some things my girl is better at me and I don't even attempt to compete. I put no effort. I let her and I'm happily. I can let her design the clothing, the colors of our houses and all clothes or whatever where we are inside. I know the design and beauty and connection to aesthetics. She's 100 times better than me and I'm happy to learn. Yeah. Off air, you are frustrated that we are still missing red.
Let's not do that. Let's not do it. One day, so it will be a whole discussion. One day.
So the frustration with men who are called special, given kind of special, even elders in community are still men today. The so-called elders or community or whatever leaders are still men in many communities.
Yeah.
But when they come to the real world, because the girl was taught discipline and order, when they asked me why men are being caught up, in other studies are showing women being more. But so far the agreement is we're already at 50-50.
Okay.
I told them in a typical family setting, the girl is being mentored strictly by the mother, being taught chores and how to run a home, how to manage, how to check what is not working, what will he eat, and all that and all that. The first daughter, even if she is the last child, she receives more better training than all the older brothers. Let me repeat that.
Yeah.
A family that has 4 children, and the girl is the last born, will be trained closely than the mother, by the mother, than the 3 boys. And she'll end up being better in life, generally. Look around and you find in most families, especially when there's only one son, he's a trouble child. Girls lead a quiet, successful life, like the children, daughters of Adam. Quiet, successful life. You don't even hear their names because they're doing well with their life. The reason is because we were given a wrong picture as men that we are somehow special. The world here does not recognize genders. I have asked many corporate leaders why they gave the leadership to women. They said, she takes orders easily. These men have too much ego. Imagine. They told me plainly. Imagine. Imagine. I questioned a few directors of schools and even the principal, the top person is a lady. So what is it with the lady? Man, you want a person who takes order quite easily.
I hope that's a good thing.
No.
Not like we're bossed around.
No.
Okay.
Women, they want prima facie or on the surface.
Yes.
A man has an image to prove.
Okay, so already.
Yeah, I know what I'm doing. Who asked for directions easily? Who asked normally on the road? Who admits they don't know where they're going? Thank you.
I'd prefer to be the one asking the strange people.
Exactly.
Like, hi, how are you? Kwenda direction.
So women don't have a prima facie, an initial, an image to start with.
Okay, I see.
But when a man is being given suggestions, he feels, many of them feel like they're being told they don't know what they're doing. It takes a lot of growth and adjusting and maturing to receive suggestions. And that's one of the best growth milestones I attained myself. To receive my wife's suggestions without defensiveness. To tame my ego to the level that I can be team worker. And I can't tell you how much it has saved me. If I admit it, I'll look weak. But let me tell you on overall.
See, the ego came in right there.
No, please let that one remain there. Don't take all of it.
I was like, aren't you talking about this? And then it just boom. Boom.
She has contributed a lot to shape my life.
Okay.
It all came from the fact that she knows she can suggest safely without being attacked.
Absolutely.
So men are frustrated because women have cars and they keep telling you, another man bought you. You sold your body. They give you wrong accusations because they don't want to admit that you worked hard and earned your way.
Yeah.
Those are the 3 levels of trainings. The society and the media makes them feel they can supervise, punish men, women, they're on top of them. The other thing is they wanted to sleep with whoever woman they wanted. Women don't want to sleep. So when a woman dresses nicely and if he feels aroused and he knows he can't get her, he feels angry. So he will either throw insults at you or when he has a chance, like the hooligans, they will assault physically. That assault was a frustration.
It was.
The other thing is they were deceived by their families that they are somehow special. The world doesn't recognize gender, recognizes competence. And women are being given roles and leadership because they are performing. Another reason the leaders were telling me they give women is because she will perform easily without... they told me when it's a man, sometimes you may find that if he has not adjusted and grown, he may have internal competition. But they told me, when you have a lady who's balanced, and they were not saying all ladies, sometimes ladies can also have ego issues. They're not saying, but I was asking them, why did you prefer this? They said, when they have similar credentials, you always look at the heart and the character. The character at the end of the day is what performs. But they told me, for many men, that being a man affects how open they are and how they can play teams by just being a man. By just being a man. If you're not careful with it, can put you down. Some cultures, like Meru culture, Kisii culture, they tell men so much of this. So much of it. So Inero being angry is something. Angry. No, it's imagine that. I meet Meru ladies swearing they can't marry their own men.
I think I've met one.
They swear.
I've met one who said never.
Now I'm wondering what will happen with these brothers. Can you please get your act together?
I think what you're saying makes a lot of sense. It's from where it comes. Sometimes it comes from our own homes.
Go to Maasai culture. The man is being taught from the time you're circumcised, you should not go to kitchen. From the time you're circumcised now, somehow don't go mingle with girls anyhow. Just stay away from the time you're circumcised. They are implanted things that hold them while the girl is simply competing with life, learning, getting forward.
Training for
girls
life.
sell themselves short in one place only.
Okay,
Premature marriages, getting children before they develop themselves, and thinking marriage is what will make her a woman. If you can develop yourself and say, I'll marry when I'm ready and I'll marry my like-minded person, you'll have a very happy life as a woman. To apologize to that woman, a lady was driving her car, to tell her, in the future, even when you are confused, stay with your doors locked. Don't open, and when you see tension building, go to the nearest police station. Don't stop there.
Yeah.
When you see tension is building, your own safety comes first, not obeying traffic rules. Sometimes you realize you don't feel safe with them. Go until you find police, either police station or police on the road.
Yeah.
Tell them something happened back there and I was fearing for my own safety. That's easier to solve when you are healthy, safe. So it's to say, it's the bad orientation of men that deceived them to some level of specialness, which is illusionary. When they're in the hands of the law, they feel shocked because nobody recognizes their specialness.
Yep.
Yes.
So it feels like we're talking about men today, because the next conversation is one that just broke my heart as well. I was shattered into pieces. I think it was over the weekend, and I got a video from Benjamin. I hadn't seen it, and I don't know what he was trying, because I got pissed and I was like, why? I was going to bed. It was at night, right?
Yeah.
And it was a video of celebrated Kamba gospel singer Kasolo. That was Stephen Kasolo.
Yes.
And in the video we see him and the daughter, and it starts with him, confronting the daughter because the daughter broke a water bottle. Sour. Bottle, plastic. So it's not even smashed though. It's a water bottle. And he says to the child, who's at this point crying, wailing, small girl. We know her. She's on social media. He talks a lot about her. I've interviewed Kasolo. He said he loves the daughter, and this kid has a following on social media. And the wife is busy recording this scene of this man telling the child, I will strangle you. I will kill you. Nitakunyonga, nitakuua. Ebu ambia mashabiki, tell the fans why I'm beating you, why I'm angry at you. And the child would say, Baba, nakupenda. Dad, I love you. Then it's like, dakunyonga. It's like, what is that? What is... It was done, it was intentional. The video was rolling, the camera was rolling. You're addressing your fans while you do this to your child. What are the things that you do when the camera is not rolling?
And later on, we said yes, sorry.
Yeah.
And I want to focus more so on... There's a time also Michael Jackson did something, the late, with his child. Appeared somewhere on the window holding the boy at the leg.
What?
There's something about our artists, I'll tell you in general.
Okay.
For me, it was just one other incident of the same thing.
It was bad.
No, it was heart-wrenching because this is a girl who's pleading.
Yeah.
Children break things and you're supposed to punish them in private, discipline them in private. Public humiliation is wrong. It can scar the child for long. And you, the mother, should stop recording and rescue the child. Don't post that video and you realize this is humiliating. But Mikali, I'll tell you what it was and what it is always is with our artists.
Okay, please.
They run out of content, they start looking for views anywhere.
Ah?
It's as simple as that.
No
Stop
way.
complicating it.
Go to the studio, do a song.
Stop complicating this thing.
Views.
It's as simple as that. They want attention at all costs.
Zulu, let me take you back to this picture. He put his hand on the child's neck. Views. Your child.
There's a time I was telling my brother Bramal that I strongly advise everybody to keep their private life personal.
Yes, please.
Generally speaking, let your home be a safe place from the world, from the public, a place you can retreat and rest. Retreat and rest. Lower the guard, remove the suits, sip some juice and fall asleep on the couch. Generally speaking, have a place you can retreat. Life is not a marathon. If you bring cameras to every aspect of your life, you are setting a precedent you can't maintain. People are falling for reality show where they show their daily life and them doing everything. And it's becoming almost a trend that, entertaining people in everything, and they convert you to a monkey that must entertain them just for views and a few coins. Let me tell you something. Again, there's another psychology of child celebrities. It's a whole aspect we'll discuss another day. So be careful before you launch your child to the public spotlight, before they develop the muscle to handle it. You're depriving them of that sacred. The caterpillar is closed in a cocoon to protect it from the world so that it can grow quietly. The butterfly has another stage that is very hidden. The butterfly is very beautiful. We see it here, but it has another stage that is really closed in a case. Children require a shell, a case, an enclosing of silence. There's a place for children who have art, but even when they are performers and singers, they still should have another life. It's away from public view. What is happening to the artists in general is that they have lost boundaries between what is private and what is public. So, communicating parenting and fathering and correcting in love becomes very difficult when you have to display everything you're doing. Becomes very difficult. It's unfortunate this is a girl, and we were just talking about another lady. This is a girl in the hands of the only man.
Own father. He sired that child.
And then you are threatening to kill.
Yes.
Not to beat up.
No. We were beat up. My father was very strict. We were beat up. We were disciplined. But that is...
You don't strangle a child. And she can imagine, and she's pleading, I love you.
I love you.
Where's your heart by the time you post something like that?
And you don't stop. You keep saying, they say I love you, and you keep saying, I'll strangle you. I'll kill you.
There's a child who took a sharp thing and wrote on his father's car. It was a boy who wrote on his father's car, Dad, I love you.
Yes. I saw that. You don't know what to do. At that point, I'm just... You see, this is a water bottle, right? And we're strangling. Baby Shine would be killed. It will not be a threat.
It amazed me you guys know those people. I told you, there's a generation that makes me feel out of school. No. I don't know these children.
Baby Shine is a star.
I'm to be told by my wife. Luckily, I have somebody who is connected to that generation. Luckily. Don't say you don't know. This is what...
Oh, my goodness. When you have a child at that age, when we grew up and we'd be disciplined and we'd be beaten up, and you're told ni makosa, we are beating out the mistakes that you've done. It was hard for us to take that. And some of us, we remember the pain. We remember the anger, the hurt that we went through. most people have carried this bitterness. Now, this thing that this gentleman was doing is not that.
It's not that. And I was telling you that you're not supposed to punish a child with anger.
No.
At the time when you're disciplining, you're supposed to contain your anger first. In fact, many times our mothers would postpone the punishment.
They'd come at you when you're not ready.
They themselves will cool off to be able to do something rational. One of the things I want you to realize is there's some things you do and the damage is done. You try to say sorry, it will take very long for that child to trust you and heal. It will take very long. And humiliation can, and I hope that child will be taken to a psychologist. That is not just a matter of saying sorry.
No.
That was traumatizing. That was trauma. I don't know how old the child is, but I know children also can heal when they are treated, but you don't just assume it.
No, you don't.
You don't just assume it, and you don't just come say sorry. Sometimes you say the apology should be as loud as the offense was. But this is the point we are saying. In terms of your creative work, in terms of your public life, in terms of your music and your talk shows, I strongly recommend that. Do the hard work of creating.
Yeah.
Stop showing us you eating food.
No.
There's no creativity there. Stop showing us you walking to the supermarket. Anybody can do that. Don't get caught up in the celebrity cloud. Don't get caught up in this wave of... Do you know how Mikali we admire when we can just walk into a hotel and take coffee?
Yeah.
I don't know where people get the energy to show everything. The way I crave just that small thing, you can do your own things out there. In fact, I would regard it as a strong offense if anybody tried to film me in church. Sometimes I visit churches of my friends and I'm trying to grade. And I always tell people, let's be us here. Don't try to film me with your phone. This is a private activity. People are so used to being on camera every day, being put on video every day, being put. This is the time we are on camera. There's a time and a season for every matter under the sun.
Yeah.
We do shows, then we go do live. Don't do live everything while you're carrying camera everywhere, taking shower, dressing, doing this and that. These cheap things, not creativity, doesn't last. I want to ask you, Mikali, do the hard work. Research on your shows. Do the hard work. Investigate what the trends are, what you are. Take time going through comments, and I like the way you research your work. You see what people are asking. Take the time to watch your things. Some of the things I even send, and I know you watched at night when you are done at. I know you are committed to your craft. Don't sell us cheap thing of you wearing shoes, unless you are a fashion seller or anything. But nowadays, the key is remember the work that brings you to the public. What we appreciate is what builds us. Yes.
Absolutely. That being said, it felt like we brought you gloom on a Friday. But I hope you've learned as well. And I hope we will do better as a person, as a society, because the truth is, it starts with you. It starts with me.
Yes.
It starts with you. And if you cannot do it right by yourself first, then it's so difficult for you. You won't even notice when you're doing or injuring or hurting other people around you. So let's be conscious. Let's spread love. It's important. And let's be grounded in the faith. I think that's it. We're done for today. Adios.